Sometimes you'd rather sleep than make a beautiful planner spread. It's totally normal. It's human. It's fine. Hello everyone, my name is Rachel. I do all sorts of planner and stationery stuff here on the YouTubes, and today I want to talk to you about some of my favorite lazy girl planner hacks that I use all the time when I am too just busy or tired or lazy, but I still need a functional planner. I am calling this lazy girl planner hacks, but of course laziness is kind of a construct. Obviously the capitalist overlords want you to keep thinking that you're lazy because then you're guilty enough to keep working, and they want you to measure your self-worth by productivity. So you stay on the hamster wheel that is the hustle culture economy, and you start to believe that your productivity is tied to your self-worth, but really you have worth because you're just a human being living on this planet. You're a living thing with a beating heart. You have worth. But I digress. You're not lazy, you might just be tired, you might just be depressed, whatever. These planner tips can help for all of those different things. Okay, let's head over to the flat lay and I'll show you some of the tips. So the first planner tip that I have if you're feeling lazy or unmotivated or depressed or anything like that is to plan first and then decorate second. So this is my Hobonichi weeks from last year, from 2022, and I'm going to show you a couple examples of pages that I planned first and then decorated on top of. But this is really one of my most important tips because sometimes we think we need to decorate alongside setting up our spread, but we don't. I know that there are lots of people out there who like to decorate as a way to encourage themselves to use the planner, and that's not really what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about like feeling the pressure to make your spread look pretty before it looks functional, before it is functional for your everyday needs. So when I was in my Hobonichi weeks, most of my pages looked like this, honestly. It was mostly pen and then very few stickers. And that's how my weeks went because I was planning first and then adding stickers in here and there as it made sense. But I had enough space in this planner to fit everything I needed to fit, but if I had started decorating first, I would not be able to fit some of these things. So I'll show you a page that I did decorate first. This is all Paper Minty Studio stickers and stuff. I had just gotten an order from her. I was super excited to use her stuff. So I ended up pre-decorating this page in my planner. And what it did, my experience of the planner this week was that I didn't want to use it because I felt blocked in by the decorations. I felt like little leaves here and here actually stopped me from being able to fully write out what I needed to write out in those boxes. This priorities box was pure deco. I never wrote priorities before that. I don't know why I thought I wanted to. And then of course this is taking up a lot of space and this is taking up the whole weekend. Now this is like, I was using this planner for work at this time, so taking up the whole weekend it's not like a huge loss to me, but I did find myself wanting to use the weekend when I got to this page and not being able to because I had pre-stickered over it. Also, you can tell that I stopped using this planner in many ways about halfway through. So my memories barely got filled out during this week. My meals, the last like 3 days didn't get filled out. This section, my habits, I stopped on Wednesday, which is 2 days into the week. That's so embarrassing. But I just wasn't reaching for this planner because I felt like this week was boxed in, was already too full for me to really, lay out everything that I needed to lay out, which I do normally. This next week that I'm going to show you is actually an example of a week where I planned first and decorated second. So in my memories column, I always save room for stickers because this just makes me feel like witnessed throughout the week, basically. So this was always going to be stickers here. So that's not really what I'm talking about. But like this whole section of deco down here, by the end of the week when Taylor Swift released Midnights, I had this big block saved and empty just because I happened not to use it. So I was writing out notes, writing out what I was reading, writing out my task list, writing out my events, stuff like that. And then I got to the end of the week, I got to Midnights, and it was like this blank space was waiting for me. And I was like, you know what I really want to use that for is Midnights. And I ended up, instead of journaling there, I ended up printing out a little picture and putting it there instead because I wanted that piece of decoration there, but also because I just had the empty space and I thought I might fill it with something. So there was a totally real possibility that like by the end of the week, this had already been filled up with notes and there was no room for this. And that would have been fine because that meant my planner was being used as it should be used. I was getting things done. I was in my planner and I was using the week to its fullest. This is another example. I had a lot of notes, a little bit of journaling over here, and then I just added this decoration on top afterwards, this little washi strips, and then these strips down at the bottom. I didn't try to add these on before in a way that like defined my week for me. What ended up happening was I was noticing I was using a lot of paper shire stickers and I was like, this is so cute. I'm going to keep doing that all week. And then at the end, I was like, something's missing. I'm going to add a little bit of deco. And that's what happened. And it looks beautiful. And this honestly looks better to me than like this with all the Paper Minty Studio stickers. Even though her stickers are beautiful and her stuff is gorgeous, this looks way more true to how I want to plan. And it still looks pretty cute, right? It still looks pretty cute. So I definitely recommend treating decoration as a bonus on top, because sometimes, especially when we're feeling low energy or feeling exhausted or feeling lazy or whatever, we need to be planning first and making sure we have our basics down, and then we can put deco on top and make it all pretty when we have free time, when we want to wind down, when we want to relax. So that's my first tip. My second planner tip is to make sure pages can be completed with as few tools as possible. So when I am in my Sterling Ink Common Planner, my weeks lately have been looking like this. Now, I know I just said decoration is not everything. And honestly, I am regretting a few of the decoration pieces that I put here in advance. This one in particular is kind of getting on my nerves because I would usually write something down here, but I just like didn't get the opportunity to because I put a sticker there like a dummy. But besides that, this week is basically the same materials that I'm using as this week, which has no stickers and no deco. And when I first moved into this planner, I was moving from a Hobonichi Weeks, which, as you might remember, has this horizontal layout with a memo page. It doesn't have any vertical weekly, and here it has a horizontal weekly. No time tracking either. So when I was moving into this, I knew that I needed to create a version of my plans that could be done and completed with as few material as possible, because otherwise I was actually not going to figure out how I like to use this. If I had led with decoration, or if I had led with like using 20 different pens or trying a bunch of different headers, I would just never complete this weekly spread. So instead, what I did was I decided what I needed to actually use, and that was some kind of highlighter, some kind of pen for a header, and some kind of writing utensil for the main body text that I was going to be using. And that ended up with these 3 pens. And that's all I did this week. And then the following week, I did add a few stickers. I started to get into deco. But this is like where I really found my stride with the planner, and I still absolutely love this week in the way that it turned out, because it's almost all the way full. It has a lot of information and it shows what I really did, which is great. So maybe this is something that you do in advance. You pick the supplies that you're going to be using and pick really minimal supplies and just do your standard weekly, daily, or monthly layouts and try to complete them in as few tools as possible. I think this is really helpful because the decision fatigue that can hit our brain when we are presented with all of our stickers, pens, washi tape, and other supplies at once, especially if we plan at our desks where we house a lot of those supplies, it can feel like a chore or a burden. It can just get really overwhelming if you're not at full energy or at full capacity to use all those tools. So make sure your layouts can be completed with as few tools as possible is my second tip. And then if you're feeling lazy, you can always just go back to these tools and it's still going to look good. It doesn't have to be, full of stickers and deco every single time. And believe me, this is full of stickers and deco for me. This is like very decorative for me. So anyways, so make sure that you can fill it out with, you can even just use one pen if that helps you. But create a version of your standard layouts that is as minimal as possible so that you know what that looks like and you know how to do it when you become overwhelmed or you become tired. The third lazy girl planner hack that I have is thumb tabs. Oh my God, I love thumb tabs. I saw this hack on somebody's video so long ago and I don't remember who, so I'm sorry I can't offer up my, credit where credit is due, but my life changed when I went from tabbing off every single month and every single type of page to just doing thumb tabs. I'll show you what I mean. So last year I was also in a Hobonichi Cousin for a little bit, and I did these adorable Coffee Monsters Co. tabs. They're so cute. I did them for every single month for the dailies, and then I also did the yearly, monthly, weekly sections up at the top. And the biggest issue with these was not that they weren't functional, like I can get my hand in there and I can flip to August, but in terms of the aesthetic and visual clutter that they're creating on my planner, for me it was just too much, and I wasn't using them at all, because typically what I needed was to flip to the exact week that I was on or the exact
day that I was on. So what I really needed is a tab on my precise week and then a tab on my precise day. Otherwise, like, I was just fumbling through here trying to find where I was every single time I opened my planner, which is no bueno. So I definitely recommend repositionable tabs because that keeps your planner clutter-free. Repositionable, I can take them off and I can put them elsewhere. And then I recommend also putting them down at the bottom because thumb tabs are so useful. It's the difference between opening this up and having to like use my whole hand to go to the page that I'm looking for versus like coming in and sliding up. I can even just slide over. So I don't know what it is about thumb tabs, but it's so efficient, so effective, so easy, and I just really, really like them. The repositional ones that I'm using, they're nothing special. They're just this Post-it brand repositionable tabs. You can get them on Amazon or at any of your local like office supply stores, but these are game changing. Putting your tabs at the bottom is game changing. Being able to move them around, it's what life is about. This easy access to just be able to like, boom, easy. Oh my God. Whoop. So perfect. The next lazy girl planner hack that I have for you guys is printouts. Now, a lot of us probably already use some kind of printout at some point or have in the past. I definitely don't use them enough, mostly because I don't have a printer right now is actually the truth. So I definitely don't use them enough, but you can print out literally anything. You can find dozens and dozens of printout sheets online that are easy to just duplicate in your planner. You don't actually have to draw your own layouts or meticulously plan anything if you're not the type of person, or you don't have the energy to meticulously plan or draw out your layouts. Just find a template that you like, save it in a folder on your desktop, and whenever you're feeling lazy, just print it out and paste it in your journal. For a while, I was trying to track my finances in the back of my Hobonichi cousin, and this was the layout that I actually ended up creating this. It was loosely based on a layout that I found and liked, and then I just created it, like tweaked it in a design software that I use for work and printed it out. And it worked pretty well. I don't want to show you a filled out one because that feels a little bit personal. I don't know why. But I just printed it out and glued it into my planner, and then boom, I had this and I didn't have to draw out a thing, and suddenly I had a workable, usable spread like right away. So this is definitely an example if you are not feeling like you have the capacity to draw everything out, or if you just want to try something, you can print it out on a blank piece of paper and like washi tape it in instead of gluing it in. You don't have to expend all this energy creating your own method when so many other things exist online, and they may be almost perfect, they may be near perfect, and if they're not perfect, you can at a different, time of the month or week or whenever you're feeling high energy again, you can come back to that template and tweak it or get something custom created or create your own, and then you have that to print out over and over and over again. So these are really, really common on sites like Etsy. I know Hobonichi also makes, I believe they also have a page on their website where you can download like digital versions of all of the pages in the planner, I believe. So if I remember, I will link it down below and try to find that page for you. But that's also super helpful if you like really want to try out some of these layouts or just need an extra bonus page as well. So try printouts. They're great. I will say printouts can bulk up your planner. Like you can see, like this is like 12 pages worth of content with printouts that just have bulked up my planner compared to the rest of the like 500 pages that don't have nearly that much bulk. If you're using a planner with particularly thin paper, this is like very common and a big issue depending on how you print out your printouts. But in my opinion, if you're just having a lazy girl week or a low energy week, or you're really not in the place where you feel like drawing out your own layouts, a few times here and there, printing out some bulky, standard printer paper thing and sticking it in your planner is fine. You don't have to be precious with it. At the end of the day, you just want to be on top of your goals and your tasks, and this is going to be a tool that helps you do that rather than hinders you.
Okay, those were my laziest of lazy girl planner hacks. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about laziness as a construct. Is it made up by our capitalist overlords just to keep us repressed? Is it legit? I don't know. Debate in the comments. Also tell me what tip you guys think you'll be taking from this video, if anything, or if you have any other low energy lazy girl planner hacks that you want to share as well. If you guys want to stay on this wavelength, I have another nice little video over here that you might like, or you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Rachelle in Theory over there. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching.